Hello and welcome to Sincere Tarot. This is your What Do You Need to Know? Pick a card for May 2022. So pick a number, 1, 2, or 3. Whatever number resonates with you the most, head on down for the timestamps and definitely make sure you stick around for the collective because this resonates with everyone watching right now, including you. All right, what do you need to know? Pile 1 for May. See. Might be about a particular person, potentially a female. Disappointment. I feel like there's someone really might not be female, by the way, but I feel like that there's someone, let me just move this table because I'm shaking the camera. All right. It could be a mother or it could be your mother or some sort of maternal figure. So it could be someone like your boss or some sort of authority figure, your aunt, someone like that, a teacher. And I feel like there's a lot of disappointment. They just around the whole relationship, they might be the ones feeling a bit more disappointed with you, or just like they project the disappointment they have on themselves onto you. They feel like they might be a little bit middle-aged and kind of thinking, oh my gosh, like I haven't, accomplished everything I want to accomplish. It could be someone that you know from your past. It could also be kind of like a childhood friend, something like that. You are doing a lot of healing right now, and I feel like you're at the tail end of it. You're feeling a lot stronger than you did before, a lot less stress. And it seems like you might take a risk with them in the future. The outcome, we've got the Fool. So you might step forward and approach them. I think they might just be acting casual or like non-bothered, nonchalant about the whole situation. You're being aspected by the Three of Wands. So I feel like you are making this decision. You've thought about it for a while and you're making this decision to approach them. Let's get some clarification cards. I feel like there's been clashes before with this person. They may have caused a lot of drama in your life, negative talk with people in your life, for example, or at least a lot of stress, but they may have caused stress in other relationships within your life. I think that they know it all and that they are the only ones that have the truth and have the answers. Funny how people can be that way. I feel like things are looking better. You are also being aspected by the Prince of Discs, so I feel like you're going to make small baby steps forward with them and, give them a little opportunity to trust them again, or to see if they're going to reach out or if they're going to build with you a solid connection again. You are taking a risk, but I think it will turn out all right because, they're also being aspected by the Six of Wands. I feel like they're going to be in a better place as well. There just may have been a lot of sadness around your connection, or there might be right now. But I think you guys do miss each other, or that has at least come up in the past. This is great. I just clarified the outcome. We've got the Sun, so I feel like leading up to the summertime, things are going to be a lot better. So that's great. Let's get some, okay, I just want to clarify the card in the past, then we'll do some advice cards and a spirit guide message. Tell me about what's going on in the past with them. I think that they felt like in the past that things were over. Well, both of you, I think, maybe have felt that way. Or your relationship the way that it used to be, especially if you were childhood friends or knew each other from a long time ago. It's like that phase of your relationship is over. And I'm going to clarify this kind of sadness, disappointment. I feel like there's been some deceit and manipulation. We've got the Magus or the Magician, which can be, deceit, manipulation, not being truthful. But I feel like it looks like you guys are going in the right direction in the future. I feel like you'll be the one approaching them, kind of just being like, hey, I might as well shoot my shot. Yeah, so that looks really good. All right, let's get some advice for this situation. The way that your relationship has been is over in that way. Ooh, all major arcana cards for the advice. That's pretty cool. So the way that it used to be with the world, it's complete, it's finished. So it's time to transcend. There might be some potential for a very small portion of you, I feel like, potentially some legal issues or something about rules. But ultimately, you just need to be balanced, and this needs to be a balanced and equal relationship, equal give and take. It needs to look like the right kind of connection with you. So for example, if you were to take a step back into your observer self and just kind of watch how this connection is going, ask what advice would you give a friend? Because sometimes we give our friends much more objective, bigger perspective advice than we give ourselves. So try to get into your objective self and think about it very logically and rationally. Third advice card, we've got the Wheel of Fortune. I feel like luck is in your favor. This is a very good fortune card, and I think things can go really well. The final advice card before we do the spirit guide message is the Moon. And the Moon is all about, diving deep into, your shadow and why did things get so bad? Were there drug problems, addiction problems, codependency problems, some sort of dysfunction that was rooted into your relationship, at least in the past? It's really important to reflect on that, because everyone's a mirror, and as much as we can say, oh, that person did this and that person said this, and people are going to be the way that they are, and they can really hurt us, especially the people closest to us. But it's really important to remember that everyone in our life is a mirror, and to think about, where did that come from within you? What do you need to heal within you? All right, let's do a Angels and Ancestors Spirit Guide Oracle card. And these are new, so I'm gonna read from the book, but we have got, ooh, this is perfect. Autumn, release the old and rest. All right, so release all of the pressure and expectation weighing you down. Shed it all so that you can recover from moving into a time of renewal. So continue to heal before you approach this relationship again. Autumn is when the trees are preparing for the long cold winter and must let go of all the weight they are carrying in order to continue to grow and prosper. Sometimes you too just have to surrender an aspect of yourself in order to continue to grow and prosper. The raven on the autumn card shows that there is an opportunity to heal at this time. In Celtic animal medicine, the raven is the bird of healing and initiation. The healing it brings is a shift that allows you to move into a more powerful psychic space where you can be more aware of your needs and desires and be better supported. You know what is heavy, what is holding you back. Is it a person, situation, a dream? Like the trees letting go of their leaves and fruit in the autumn, it's time to let it go. When you hold on, you try to control reality, and that never works. When you let go, you make space for the new to enter your life. You are being guided by your angels and nature herself to release whatever is stopping you from moving forward, and you can do this. When the autumn card arrives in the future position of a spread, or as the last card in a reading, it can indicate that the coming autumn will usher in important energies with regards to your question or intentions. All right, so make sure to check out the collective reading, and on to group 2. Hello, group 2. All right, so what does group 2 need to know from May? Let's see. All right, so there's disappointment around, there was a disappointment in the past that you're becoming content with it. You still get hung up on it though. So this is the energy in the past, the 9 of Swords. That's a heck of a lot of stress and feeling like you fought so many battles and you're really wondering, was it all worth it? All of the sacrifices I made, because you might even have felt like a little bit alone, You're like, I've done all the right things. Like, this is I'm supposed to be successful, or I'm supposed to have, gotten where you want to get. And you hadn't, or anyways, that's the energy in the past. Your energy, you are coming up right now as the 4 of Wands. I feel like you've not completely dealt with that. You're like putting it off a little bit. Like, you've healed, you've transitioned a bit, but it's still like in the back of your mind. Also because you are being aspected by the 4 of Cups. So that's almost like it's gone. The stress is gone from your head almost to your heart. Like, it's a little bit more emotional in a way, potentially, but you're like brushing that off. Okay. What this whole situation is about is the 6 of Wands. I feel like, you've had success, you want success. And like, we've got swords, we've got wands, we've got cups. So it could be in many different aspects of your life. It could be work, family, career, lots of different things, relationships. Okay. And you feel like you haven't quite succeeded. In fact, I feel like you might be putting things off that you really need to do. And you know in the back of your mind, but at the same time, it's like these two things are happening at once. You're putting things off you know you need to deal with, okay? But two, you're becoming almost at the same time a bit content, like you're also just trying to accept where you're at, and you just might want a bit of period of rest, but it might not be the most restful period because it's in the back of your head. The outcome is the Four of Swords. I feel like you're going to be doing a lot of healing. You're going to be dealing with your stress a lot better. You're going to remember in the near future, especially to have a bit more fun and just to enjoy life a bit more, enjoy where you are, even if you're not feeling 100% all of the time. And you also really need, this is aspecting, your, goals and where you want to be. And I feel like you might it could be that you've been this is two different stories. You might have been fed a lie a little bit about, where you should be, and you've been told maybe the media or by friends and family in your culture, about where you should be. And I think maybe you feel like you've been a bit deceived or ripped off in a way, or lied to and manipulated. Another story is that you might feel that that you have to have everything perfect all of the time. And I think you just need to focus a little bit more and find a little bit more balance, to be honest. You can't do everything at the same time. I think you feel like you need to be at your end point, like straight away, and just always be successful. But life is like ups and downs, to be honest. All right, let's get some clarification cards. Wow. We've got the sun and the moon almost in opposition. I feel like you're trying so hard to just like be happy and find joy right now, which is good, and to enjoy life. However, you are really suppressing and ignoring a lot of these like goals and situations that you want. This could be a person as well, by the way. It could be a male potentially, but I feel like you're totally beginning to kind of push down your negative emotions about the fact that you're not exactly where you want to be yet. I feel like you've had a certain amount of success, but you haven't in the past, but you haven't you've plateaued a little bit, and maybe you feel like, oh my gosh, is this it? Honestly, I've just clarified the outcome, and once you rest and heal and find the little joys in life and have that balance and really just relax with the whole stress, that's when you're going to have new ideas and inspiration and energy to move forward, new energy to move forward in the direction you want to go. You need to get rid of this stress. In the past, you've been stressing yourself out, okay? Right now, you are trying hard to relax, but you're ignoring your negative emotions. You need to properly heal and come up with better patterns to reduce stress in your life. And that's when the magic happens. Let's clarify a few more. You can be successful financially and with stability and money and career and work. You absolutely can be. You're just not going to see it right now or at least in the future, you won't see it straight away because you just kind of can get really down in the dumps. Yeah, but we can all get there, I think I see you are finding greater success. Just know it's not going to be the big leaps and bounds that you want. You're not going to get everything perfect straight away, but you will get to a higher level of success. And I think it's just part of the journey. Clarify one more. It's definitely a good idea to go out and enjoy and hang out with your friends and things like that. Make sure you have moderation and balance with that, okay? You don't want to go over the top. Let's get some advice cards, then we'll do an Angels and Ancestors card. Advice. Group 2. Let's see. Interesting. Okay. First advice card, we've got the Nine of Cups. Make that big wish. You gotta have that hope, but seriously, even if, pause the video right now if you want, but your goals and desires and everything, I just want you to put your hands on your heart and just feel that it's happening, and that you feel that joy in your heart again, and then just put it out into the universe. Put that wish into the universe and then just let it come back to you, okay? So you need to actually start being a little bit more hopeful and yeah, really making wishes, and maybe some prayer would be really helpful. Second advice card, we've got the Six of Pentacles. You want to be a lot more balanced. I don't know why my nose is so tickly. Anyways, sorry. Yeah, so you need to be balanced with your money as well. And make sure you know about like your incoming money and your outgoing money, and you need to be smart, okay? Like obviously make sure that your needs are met, but try and find a good balance with money and know that money will come and go and success will come and go. And just to remember, like if it hasn't been going the way that you want, like it ebbs and flows, so it's gonna start coming back at some point. Third advice card, we've got the Lovers. So I would say you might want to team up with people, business partnerships. Oh my gosh, why is my nose so tickly? Maybe it means to follow your nose. Anyways, yeah, you might want to start like a business partnership or a connection with someone, collaborate with people. Also, if you've got a partner or a really solid friend or someone that you totally trust, I would talk to them about it. Maybe even get them to help you out, you know, because they love you and they care about you and they want you to be okay. So that's the advice. Fourth advice card, we've got the Eight of Cups, and just to really reflect that your heart is in it, in the right direction. And if you feel like you're going in the direction where you're getting 80% of what you want, like you really need to think about like, will that sustain you? Is that enough? And yeah, just I would take this time to really reflect a lot. All right, let's do an Angels and Ancestors Oracle card. Thank you. Ooh, all right, so we've got Mountains, Stand Your Ground, and I'm gonna get the book because these are very new cards. All right, so hold firm to what you believe in or are focusing on, because it is absolutely right. Know that heaven and earth are supporting you. Mountains are strong and wise. They are rooted deep in the earth and reach high into the sky. They have been where they are for thousands of years. They have been home to animals. They have been climbed by humans, and they have seen seasons come and go. No matter what has happened to them, they have remained strong, immovable, and unshakable, and so they offer the spiritual energies of strength and resilience. And also, I feel like really making sure that you're grounded is really important. Mountain energy is powerful because it's firmly rooted in the Great Mother and reaches high to the Great Father. If you're feeling challenged or pressured at this time, know that your spirit is more powerful than you think. You are resilient and grounded, and the energy and air of the mountains is giving you the unshakable strength to be who you are. Take time to root yourself deeply in the energy of the earth before welcoming in the energies of heaven. If you're not sure what you need to do next, the Mountain card invites you to stay exactly where you are, talk things over with those around you, just like what I said, you know, lover, people that you trust, things like that, and know that change will come to you. You will be whole and well at the end of this current situation, and it will not stand in the way of your future growth and expansion. All right. Definitely check out the collective read. On to group 3. Hello, group 3. All right, so let's see. What does group 3 need to know for May? Some similar cards are coming out for people. Interesting. Well, you're going to reach your end point with someone or a situation. Could be a situation, right? Could have to do with a group of people, but I'm just going to speak like it has to do with one person. This is something to do with a situation. It could even be like your family or colleagues, or I'm feeling more like it's a group energy. So it could be an individual. I'm actually going to speak like it's a group. You all got along. Everything was great. There was a lot of love, and you know, you just really felt fulfilled in the past. Okay. Right now, you are feeling really down in the dumps. With the Four of Cups, you feel alone, like that you don't really have the success that, you know, maybe you had in the past. There's always hope, okay? There's that one upright cup, but just things haven't been going well, and you're feeling a bit depressed, and it might have kind of like a midlife crisis kind of feeling, like, you know, what does my life come to? It might have to do with a particular group of people that are really argumentative, and it wasn't always like that before. a lot of conflicting ideas and beliefs, and it's just too much for like any one person to manage. It's just argumentative, it's not going anywhere. The energy in between you and this group of people is the Chariot. I feel like someone's a little bit like, maybe both of you to a certain degree are just very bullheaded and kind of like stuck in your beliefs, like, you know, I'm right, you know? And I feel like you have kind of given up emotionally, and then the other group of people or person who might cause drama in a particular group or network in your life, yeah, you're just both like very stubborn, okay? Very stubborn. No one's budging. No one's admitting their flaws. I feel like someone, if it is a group, I feel like someone in the group is going to approach you with love, but this is the Knight, so I feel like they're a little bit immature. They might be a bit emotionally immature. They could be a younger male or just a younger person, or even if they're not physically younger, they could be a little bit emotionally, when it comes to emotional maturity, a little bit younger. See, they still want to go the old way. It's like, you know, for example, if it's a dysfunctional family, you know, it's like they approach you with an open heart, but there's not going to be any real changes. They're kind of just still wanting things to be the same way, but that's not sustainable for you or for them or for anyone. But, you know, it's really hard for people to change sometimes. I feel like you are the person who's more likely to change, but like they're not. And so it's not going to work because both parties have to be. You know, this in the future, you know, you might approach with new ideas, definitely a lot more strength. You are very wise. This is a wise person because all of that, like, you know, void in the background, it's full of ancient wisdom and things like that. It's something you've thought about a lot. And I think you've got your own ideas, but it's from a new perspective. And there might only be, if this is a group of people, you might only still want to have anything to do with like maybe just like a very small group of them. But you're just going to try with one person, maybe the person that approached you with a different idea. We'll see how it goes. If you go with their way, it's just not, I just don't see it as being sustainable anymore. All right. I feel like you've been holding your emotions. You've been able to like hold it together, at least on the surface for other people to see. But it's like, I feel like you've had to emotionally disconnect from this group of people a little bit. They're actually depressed, okay, feeling sadness, and yeah, and it's just kind of become a toxic environment. So I don't blame you at all for that. You know, there's still love. This whole thing started with love, and it's ending with love in a way. We'll see. Please, when this person approaches you in the future, all of this could be about work, by the way, so you got to just like take how this applies in your life. They're not going to be telling you the whole story. They're going to be telling you selective truths, and they're lying by omission with their words and their text messages and potentially phone calls and things like that in conversation, okay? You're only getting like 70% of the truth, but what's being left out is so essential for you to see the big picture, and they're not showing you the big picture. Yeah, I do see, you know, you and another person reaching out to one another, and there is that potential. Let's do two more. So this whole situation will help you grow, and, you know, even if you don't feel it now, in the future or the near future, you will have a much like more solid foundation, and things maybe with this whole situation will be better by later this spring. Also, it could be the 8th month of the year. I just kind of got that. Oh, the 8th month, what is that? That's like August. Anyways, but yeah, look, this other person that's going to approach you with an open heart, but an immature heart, is also being aspected by the Queen of Cups. So they might be influenced by their mother or their partner, or an older female, or someone who might be a bit emotionally manipulative, for example. So they might be like giving messages of someone else, but also there's just a lot of, they're not fully giving themselves. They'll give the, like, opening their heart and making themselves vulnerable. They're going to try and give the impression like, oh, I'm trying, but it's like, I don't know. it's not, they're not really making the essential change, at least not at this point in time, not for this month at least, for things to go forward in the right direction. But ultimately, like, you are doing better. I feel like you're growing from the situation, gain a lot of wisdom, and even if you don't feel it now, you are getting your confidence back, like 100%. Okay, seriously. All right, so let's get some advice for group 3 about this whole situation. It could be like with an ex or a partner you've been on and off with as well, by the way. All right, so yeah, okay. The first advice card, we have got the 3 of Wands, and that's also aspecting you. And that's taking a step in a new direction. So I feel like, you know, when this person does approach you or group of people, I feel like it's a person, even if it's from a group. I want you to move forward in what feels right for you, that's intuitively correct for you, with a fresh new start. And so I'm not saying not to try. Definitely try, but it's got to be on your own terms. Your own terms. 100%. I do see this is good. This is luck. It's good luck. So I feel like things will turn in your favor. It might not be this month, but, and even if it's not with this group of people, things will, your luck is looking up in general, even outside of the situation. This is definitely a time to reflect about unhealed wounds. If the situation's happened before in your life, for example, your childhood, like, it's really important to reflect and dive into that shadow and just think about, like, really take in the wisdom and teachings of this lesson. We get many lessons in life, so we have to learn before we can move on. But I do feel like you're going to be doing quite well, but definitely take that time to reflect and dive deep into the shadow and your feelings. And if you're feeling a bit sad and depressed, like, it's really important to look at that, even if it's ugly. And you might also want to keep an eye on, like, the cycles of the moon when it comes to, you know, making decisions about these people. If you're going to approach them, you might want to see what an ideal moon cycle it would be good to do that at. Final advice card before we go to the spirit guide message is the Hanged Woman. So this situation sucks, but it's just the way that it is. The energy needs to change before the external, how it looks externally, is going to change. So you also need to focus on just accepting things the way that they are, that people are the way that they are, groups of people act how they're going to be, and there's nothing you can do about that. And you might feel stuck, but it's important to embrace that and feel into it and just accept the situation for the way that it is. Because once you accept the situation truly and you're like, you know what, if it stays like this forever, I'm going to be okay with that. And that's when things move. You know what I mean? Anyways, all right, let's get a Angels and Ancestors Oracle card. Ooh, I love this. All right, Knight, be brave and honest. This is new, so I will just look at the book. All right, so do the right thing. Even if it isn't the easiest option, stand for what you know to be right and true. The knight is a knight in shining armor, dedicated to the crown that his sword defends. In this sense, he is a protector of the Holy Grail, and therefore of your spiritual growth and expansion. He represents the warrior in you, whether you are male or female. That energy is within you. His sword and armor show he is courageous and strong, but if you look closely, you will see he has a tear running down his face, showing his willingness to be vulnerable and his love for what he protects. The energy of respect is important right now, especially with this group or this person. You are being encouraged to figure out what is important to you and what you stand for. If you are in a space where there's opposition, you are being guided to follow through with integrity, because even if it seems this will slow your progress, your rewards will be much more abundant. You are being surrounded by a light of bravery to help you. This card also brings justice. If you are longing for justice, please know that the universal energies are working to bring everything back into order, and that you don't need to force anything through with your will. See what I'm saying with the Hanged Woman? Like, the energy's not right. If you take, now's not the correct time to take action. So you really need to focus on, you know, your energies. If you have made any mistakes recently, it's important to take ownership of them so you can align yourself with improving the situation. I definitely say alignment's important right now, with the 3 of Wands especially. If you are feeling the need to defend your spiritual path at this time, back down and let it protect you. All right, on to collective. Hello, collective. All right, this is for every single one of you. All right, what does the collective need to know for May? Let's see. Might be time to walk away from a situation, even if the other person doesn't want to. Let's see here, actually. This has to do with something that it could have been something to do with like money or where you live or just giving. I'm kind of getting the feeling that you've been a people pleaser and that attracts really needy people. I mean, maybe you have a job where it's really high need, you know, it could be that, but I feel like it's just not fulfilling because I feel like people, the energy around you is like the people are going towards you, like expecting you to do everything. And it's like, they don't, I don't know, it's almost maybe even like in a way working with like people who are drug addicts that, you know, they're really hurt, they're really damaged, they've got serious wounds. I'm using that as an example, but it could be anyone in your life, to be honest. It could be something to do with work, and you're just feeling so disappointed. You're feeling like, is it worth it? Because you're feeling like they're cutting you out. I'm not saying that's the situation, but they kind of are in a way. Well, they're not letting you in. I feel like they're just they can be a bit mean, potentially, and controlling, and it's just not you. I feel that they used to be a lot more giving towards you, actually. I mean, the way that they're treating you is because of their sadness and their disappointment, and I think they might have some control issues in a way, where things have to go. It's like their way or the highway, and they have an expectation now of how things should be, you know, and they're not seeing your pain or that you're feeling left out and maybe even a little bit abandoned. I feel like things are a bit hectic right now with this person, but I do see you approaching them in the future, but it's in a place with like hope, you know. You don't have the most hope, but I feel like in the future, right now it's just not working, and you might kind of be ignoring them or at least emotionally just distant. I see you approaching them in the future, but it's when they are kind of letting their guard down a little bit more. It might be, you know, for example, something might happen or they're just feeling down and they let their guard down, and then you can kind of approach almost like a child. I mean that in a good way, with like an open heart and an open mind, and you'll almost like show them that there's a different way to deal with things and to communicate with people. Just right now I feel like they're just very, maybe even a bit mean or at least cold. Okay, controlling. Yeah, you are going to approach them on your own terms with what's right for you, and you're going to follow your intuition, and you're going to stand in your integrity. So that's really important, but that's in the future. Okay, so right now, just you're licking your wounds. Just do what you got to do with that. Okay, let's get some clarification cards for the situation. Yeah, you need to get back on your own 2 feet. Okay, you need to get a nice stable foundation, and that might have, part of that might be even getting less responsibility in your life or less things to worry about, including with money and finances, where you're going to live, things like that, less on your plate. And you might have less on your plate than you did before, but I think you even need just a little bit less just to get your foundation back. Okay. Oh, and also, you know, be very careful who you let in. You might have been a little bit more easygoing with that. Now you need to just really like protect your energy and yourself, and still let people in, but it needs to be on your own terms. Feel like you're learning that the hard way. This person might be a little bit unbalanced and maybe a bit influenced by other people's perspectives a little bit more, and it might have something to do with work. They might be super stressing because maybe they lost their job, or they got a demotion, or they lost a lot of money. And so I think that feeling of disappointment and a loss of control is they're trying to almost compensate by being a bit, potentially they need to call the shots with you. So it comes from a place of sadness, but that doesn't mean to put up with it. Just saying. I think that I feel if you might be younger than this person potentially, and so in the past, like they may have had more of the mentorship role with you, and so maybe they just don't like this whole change where like they might need to lean on you for support or listen to you or things like that. I do find a balance being found in the future when you approach them with an open mind and when their walls are down. And I think you two may be able to find, there's that possibility. I'm not saying for sure, but there's definitely a possibility of both of you finding that middle ground, okay? Yeah, I feel like they might look at you as an easy target in a way. Yeah, so just be very careful with protecting your heart, okay? And make sure you have solid boundaries. You're learning that though. You're going to learn that a bit more. You'll get there, okay? You just need to kind of get your head on straight and know that in the future, like the most of this will be over and you'll have learned a lot. You'll put your head back together, sort yourself out. You'll be doing a lot better. They are just stressed, okay? And they've not even, but they need to reach a breaking point, which they will in the future, and that's when you're going to approach them. And that's when I see things working out for the better. Let's get some advice cards for the collective. First advice card is that you can do it all. Like maybe you've relied on this person in the past, but you know, you can do everything. You can support yourself. You've got a really good business mindset and you 100% can be in that energy. So you need to know that you're capable of that, okay? The second advice card is the Two of Cups, and just to learn how to have a balance with this other person, but also within yourself, because sometimes when there are imbalances in relationships with other people, it represents imbalances with the relationships we have in ourselves, and just to find balance and complementary relationship and equal give and take, and definitely just be balanced, especially emotionally. Third advice card, we've got the Justice card. If you are dealing with any like legal problems or rules and regulations and blah, 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 that will get sorted. But like, you know, if you need to talk to a lawyer or anything like that, definitely do that. But I feel like things will definitely get sorted, but it's important to just also take a step back and have that objective perspective. Like, is this fair? Is this situation fair? It needs to be equal. It needs to be balanced. It needs to go both ways. Definitely a balance needs to be found in this connection. The fourth advice card, we've got the World. I feel like this lesson that you're learning with this person or situation is coming to an end, right? The lesson will be learned. It is being learned right now. It will come to an end. You'll be able to celebrate it and then transcend it. And I feel like it will almost be like a newer, better relationship in the future. It's not going to be like, oh, all, you know, rainbows and sunshine, gumdrops, however that saying goes. But it's definitely going to be leveling up, that's for sure. All right, let's get an Angels and Ancestors Oracle card. Ooh, I haven't gotten this one yet. This is a new deck, okay? I'll get the book out in a second. But we have got Earth Mother, feel loved and comforted. I love it. All right, so allow yourself to be cherished. Earth Mother is protecting you with a shield of love and light. Oh my gosh, and you got the World, i.e. the Earth, as an advice card. So this is all part of the process. Everything's going to work out totally fine. Earth Mother is the female counterpart to Sky Father. It's auspicious to receive this card because in the eyes and heart of Earth Mother, you are her child and she is highly protective of her baby and will give you everything you need to grow and expand. And this is all about growth and expansion, isn't it? Earth Mother is only covered by leaves in this card, showing the vulnerability of the earth. Every day she experiences challenges that she has to adapt to and overcome. Her energy, represented by the symbol of the pagan triple goddess, Maiden, Mother, and Crone behind her, can help you adapt as the changes of life come your way. You may have felt overwhelmed or out of control emotionally recently, but you are now moving back to your natural center, and that will bring you to a place of clarity and openness. If you have felt ungrounded, know that Earth Mother is here to root you and help you regain your sense of strength. You may not feel like a child, but in the eyes of the divine, you are a child of light, and it's important you know that and feel loved. If you have had challenges with your mother, this could all be about your mother. Shouldn't laugh about that. Or with being a mother yourself, know that the energies of mother healing are with you right now to help clear any ancestral blockages that are preventing you from making the sacred love connection. You are being guided to make choices that are based on love. And I hope you have a wonderful May. If you found these readings helpful, please share them with friends that you also think that they would enjoy and find helpful as well. Subscribe and hit the notification bell if you haven't already. And do let me know below what pile did you pick, and how did it resonate with you, and most of all, I hope you have a blessed May. All right, talk to you later. Bye.